What is up? D. Chantilly here, and today we'll be discussing whether or not Amazon should purchase GRUBHUB. In about early January, news came out from the Wall Street Journal that GRUBHUB is considering strategic options, which include the sale of its business. Since then, the company unequivocally denied the report. CEO Matthew Maloney doubled down in denial of the idea they're considering a sale. But should they be considering a sale? And let's start with why they should actually be considering selling the company. It's no secret that it's a very competitive industry with very little customer loyalty, mainly due to the fact that each company offers discounts undercutting the other in order to get users onto their platform. And GrubHub hasn't tried to hide that fact. In late October of 2019, Matthew Maloney blamed promiscuous diners, which is a really odd way to say it, but nonetheless it's still true. People ordering from their mobile phone to have food delivered to them don't really have a preference. It's whatever I can get to me at the cheapest price. And on this past conference call, he said that there's been no easing of competitive dynamics, mentioning Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Postmates. He also said that GrubHub makes money on every order while the competition is losing money. He also mentions there are multiple unsustainable business models, which is true. But GrubHub's current business model, I would argue, is unsustainable. GrubHub lost $18.6 million in 2019, which is a massive 123% decrease from their $78.5 million profit in 2018. The competition has driven GrubHub into the red. Not only that, their non-GAAP or generally accepted accounting principle numbers are down. Non-GAAP adjusted EBITDA, which is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, was $186.2 million versus 2018's $233.7 million, which is a 20% decrease year over year, and non-GAAP net income came in at $73.2 million, which is a 52% decrease from 2018's $153.3 million. Yes, daily active grubs are up 13% to 492,300. Revenue is up 30% year over year to $1.3 billion. Gross food sales are up 17% year over year to $5.9 billion, and active diners are up 28% to $22.6 million. These are all good things. Growth is looking good, which is why you should sell now, because I'm not here to tell you GrubHub's a bad business, because it's not. But GrubHub is currently in what I'm calling a race to zero. Each company is undercutting the competition and bringing more users, which is very, very expensive. GrubHub has about $375 million. Really, you can say $376 million in cash and cash equivalents. DoorDash alone raised $1.1 billion in 2019. Postmates raised $335 million in 2019 on top of $300 million in 2018. Uber Eats, or Uber Technologies, because that's their parent company, has $10.87 billion in cash on hand. GrubHub recently lost its top dog status to DoorDash, and take a look at this chart from QZ.com that shows the decline in market share since 2017. The article also says that GrubHub President and Chief Financial Officer Adam DeWitt said at a dinner in New York City on April 3rd, adding, "I haven't seen one third-party report that is correct." GrubHub declined to comment on this latest second measure data, so that could be saying something about this chart. In a second measure article about December 2019 sales, they produced this chart. And then they also had this to say about DoorDash. Sales across the industry are growing, but DoorDash's growth stands out. The company saw unparalleled 97% year-over-year jump in December. There's much speculation of whether the company will IPO or even do a direct listing in 2020, which says a lot. The suggestion of a DPO says they don't even need the money, and if they were to do an IPO, their cash balance would be tremendous. Because I'm sure a lot of people on Wall Street would want in on this 97% year-over-year growth for the month of December. And obviously they're growing in the other months too, but this stands out. GrubHub was one of the first movers. They were aggressive in acquiring startups, including mobile ordering and payments platform Level Up, which I saw used at Tropical Smoothie this past weekend. And that aggression and that early mover's advantage was why they had such a dominating lead on everybody else. But their competition is well-funded, growing as fast, if not faster than they are. And so if you're a GrubHub shareholder or a board member, cashing out should be on the table, because Postmates and DoorDash haven't even tapped the public markets yet for funding. GrubHub has, and I know they can do a secondary offering, but a lot of people won't be happy about being diluted. And when you see their competition and how much money they can raise in a public offering, they're going to have to be diluted big time. And so that's why I believe Grubhub should at least consider selling the business. And now let's talk about why Amazon should be interested in Grubhub at all. Amazon has all the infrastructure in place to acquire Grubhub and take it to the next level. They also don't have to worry about being undercut on price anymore because Amazon itself is pretty famous for penetration pricing. But I also believe Amazon could have this company back and profitable faster than Grubhub could on its own. Amazon recently disbanded Amazon Restaurant Delivery for what we could assume to be they struggled to get users on the platform. That wouldn't be a problem with Grubhub that already has 22.6 million active users and 492,300 daily users. So they'll be starting from the driver's seat. And Amazon can monetize this in at least two different ways. And the first one being the current structure. You charge per use, you order something, they charge you a fee. The second one being an Amazon Prime membership. Amazon can offer this delivery service for free to its Prime customers like it does with Amazon Food Delivery that delivers groceries from Whole Foods. This will greatly increase the value proposition of being an Amazon Prime subscriber, which would allow them to raise the price on the membership without much turnover. It actually may bring people in because now, I use these delivery services all the time. If I get an Amazon Prime membership, I get all these other benefits with it. And so when you look at it, I can get my television, I can get my packages delivered within 2 days, music, my groceries delivered from Whole Foods, and I can order from my favorite fast food restaurants with this one payment. The value proposition or the bang for your buck here is unbeatable. Customer loyalty is fickle in this industry, but Amazon can change that. Amazon can bring people into their ecosystem and make them ask, why do I need Uber Eats? Why do I need DoorDash? Why do I need Postmates or any of these other services when I have everything I need right here? Amazon could also compete for drivers by taking only 20 to 25% of the commissions. And from what I see on a brief search, that's the low end of the spectrum. But let's start to look at what a potential deal could look like between Grubhub and Amazon that can please the Grubhub shareholders and also please the Amazon shareholders. In terms of guidance, they said they expect between $1.4 and $1.5 billion in revenue with an expected adjusted EBITDA of at least $100 million, which is not the most exciting thing I've ever seen. That still shows a decline in the EBITDA numbers. And now we take a good look at the current numbers. Active users are at 22.6 million. Gross food sales are at 5.9 billion. And the fair deal I came up with is $6.25 billion. And here's the different ways to think about that. $69.49.5 a share or 37% premium. $276 and about 55 cents per user or 4.3 times the high-end 2020 revenue projections. This may seem like an expensive deal for Amazon, but it's still getting a company that, if it's not an industry leader, it's a very, very, very close second. They will also get access to over 300,000 restaurants, which include Dime Brands, which is Applebee's parent company, McDonald's, and Yum Brands, which owns Taco Bell and KFC. And then Yum Brands also owns a stake in Grubhub, and that allows them to be the sole provider of food delivery. I'm not sure how they're going to work that out with Amazon, but I'm sure Amazon will be more than happy to continue to be the sole deliverer for Yum Brands. So I'm sure they're going to work out a deal to continue to be the sole provider for Yum Brands restaurants. Also, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you think this would be a good acquisition for Amazon, or do you think Grubhub should sell to somebody else, or do you think they can stand tall and be its own company? I look forward to seeing what you guys say down in the comment section below. See you there.